So, I have been talking a lot about Nintendo lately about their ridiculous prices. Let's switch things up. Let's talk about PlayStation's prices going up also. You thought that I was only going to talk about Nintendo. Well, you got another thing coming. No one is safe from me.
How's it going, everyone? We have a breaking news video to do here. This news just dropped, and this is potentially a harbinger of things to come with the uncertain world right now, with a lot of things going on. We talked about PlayStation Plus prices going up. Well, how about this? PlayStation 5 prices will be rising in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. They have a PlayStation blog post, and I love how on the PlayStation blog, they'll always have, like, the great thumbnails and whatnot. Like, you see Marathon launching September 23rd, this flashy image, Indiana Jones, you got the Indiana Jones picture. This news, you just have this grim black image with the PlayStation logo, just showcasing the dire times that we are in, the uncertain times in the world, brothers, that we are currently in. So, this is coming from Gillian McAllister, or Gillian McAllister, I'm sorry, I probably butchered the name. Manager, Content Communications of Sony Interactive Entertainment. PS5 price to rise in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Again, a disk drive for PS5 price will also be reduced.
That is a shame that those prices are going to go up. I mean, the amount of money that Sony has made off of those countries, the least they can do is not sit there and screw them over and jack up their prices. And I have no idea why. Well, I know why. It's because it's corporate greed. I mean, there's no reason to raise the prices up like that. Now, I don't know how much. If we're talking about like a few bucks or $10, I mean, that's kind of insignificant if we're being honest. But still, the problem is like you look at PlayStation Extra and all that. The prices go up just like that guy said, but the quality has been getting worse. The quality has not been going up along with the prices. You know, even though the prices are just ridiculous. There's no reason to have these prices up that high. Games shouldn't be $70, let alone going to $80 now.
These regions, with a backdrop of a challenging economic environment, including high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates, Sony Interactive Entertainment has made a tough decision to raise the recommended retail price of the PlayStation 5 console in select markets in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. The updated PS5 RRPs are effective starting April 4th, so we're wasting no time right after tomorrow. Europe, PlayStation 5 Digital Edition will be going to $499.99. PS5 Digital Edition in the UK, $429.99. Australia, standard PS5 with Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive will be $829.95. The PS5 Digital Edition will be $749.95. That is absolutely vomit-inducing. Standard PlayStation 5 with Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive in New Zealand will be going to $949.95. PS5 Digital Edition will be going to $859.95. That's in New Zealand. That is for the digital console. They do know PS5 Pro RRPs remain unchanged. Additionally, the disc drive for PS5s will be getting an RRP decrease effective April 14th. UK, it'll be going to $69.99. Europe, $79.99. Australia, $124.95. New Zealand, $139.90.
That is just ridiculous. I want to know the reason why that they're raising the prices. I know it's probably corporate greed, but I want to know why that they're raising those prices for those countries. Because just for the Australian money, looking at it, okay, for that kind of money, that brings it up to $526.85 American. That is a ridiculous price to ask for that PS5. That's more than it was at launch, I believe, because I bought mine like a year after it launched, still during when we had the shortages going on, and I bought mine for $500. It included the God of War Ragnarok in it. It was a digital copy, of course. You know, God forbid they put a physical copy in it, but that's how much that it costed me. So now they're going to raise it to more than what it cost at launch. Okay, now you can currently get it. Okay, at Walmart, around where I live, you can get a PS5 Standard Edition with the disc drive. Okay, with the copy of Astrobot for $400. So why the hell are they? You know, people here in America, if you haven't gotten that PS5, you better buy that one now.
So there you have it. This is something a lot of us had seen coming, and look, the world is in a crazy place right now, but the issue that I have with everything going on as far as the economic environment, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not somebody that is going to break down the weeds of everything going on. But the reality is right now, it's a challenging economic environment. The reality is once price point goes up, like once the toothpaste is out of the tube, I am led to believe we're probably not going back to a world where price points are going to come back down, at least for a while. You know, things will fluctuate all the time, but once price points are accepted at an elevated rate, it's not like just because the economic times change that they're going to bring them back down. No, the new price point has been accepted, and they are a business trying to make as much money as humanly possible. They would charge $80, $90, $100 for video games if they found it to be widely acceptable across the board for all video games. That's my issue with this, that for the long term, this hobby is just going to get more and more expensive, and you just saw it with PlayStation Plus going up in price. And the PlayStation Plus aspect of it going up in price, I found it to be comical because...
You know, this is why I'm going to recommend, because I really don't want these prices to stand for. I think we need to push back. We need to sit there and hold the line and refuse to buy them. But I know that people are not going to do that. So if you're going to do that, just wait a week or two. I'm pretty certain you can wait a week or two until you find one to use. You can buy it pre-owned. I know not a lot of people like this stuff pre-owned, but you can buy it pre-owned. And then guess what? Sony and Nintendo will not get none of that money. Absolutely none of it. So it's all going to go to the person that you choose to buy it from. You can pick a local mom and pop gaming store. You can pick someone Joe Blow down the street. It don't matter. Just make sure to make sure that these greedy corporations like Sony and Nintendo do not get your money.
PS Plus, the deal is, oh, we're gonna raise the value proposition for you. Brother, there ain't no value proposition being raised here. We all know this. We all know what's going on here. Y'all can raise the price and offer us less and less. And I would say, you know, as far as the console itself goes, I think the PlayStation 5 is a worthwhile console. I'll crap on the first-party output this generation all I want. You know, a lot of remasters and all that stuff, but you're talking about the game lineup, the performance, it's a net positive. Like, as far as owning a PlayStation 5, I think some people are crazy saying it's like, you know, it's not worth it. I do think this is one of the weakest generations in PlayStation history, if not the weakest generation. I would put the PS3 above the PS5. I would certainly put the PS4, the PS2, obviously, and probably the PS1. I was a little bit young at that point, but I still think overall for $500 or, you know, whatever it goes up to, it's been a worthwhile investment for the most part, but you know, I am a little bit petrified and terrified, not in the...
I actually do agree with you a little bit, GameCross, when it comes to the PS5. It's a very worthwhile investment. I do not regret buying my PS5 one little bit. You know, even though we haven't gotten a whole lot of first-party exclusives out of PlayStation this generation, because they sat there and chose to dive headfirst into the damn live service without even thinking. But you know what? I don't feel bad for Sony. I don't care if they lost out on money. That's the reason why everything's going up. We got to pay for that live service tax that failed miserably for them. But the thing is, even though we haven't gotten a lot of first-party titles, we still got some very good banger first-party titles for this generation. Okay, we had Spider-Man 2. We had what was it? Oh, God of War Ragnarok. That was a great. We had Stellar Blade. That was a great. I know that's probably not the first party one, but that was also a really good one. The Ratchet and Clank was also a good one. I mean, we had very good exclusives for this generation. That might have been lacking, might not have been that many, but it was still better. No matter how many that they got on the Xbox One, it was still better than anything they ever got.
Sense that, guys, I'll have access to the hardware. Thankfully, I am incredibly blessed with this job, but I know the reality of the situation, and it's become an era where we have to be more and more selective. What I would recommend to you guys is, most of you guys already have your PlayStation 5. What I have expectations of is, I do expect that games are going to go up in price. I do expect the PlayStation 6 to be incredibly expensive. You guys, is the output of what these consoles are offering you, these new consoles, these new games, are they outweighing what we've gotten in the past? Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018 for $59.99. For my money, that game 7 years ago still puts to shame the majority of games that have come out today. There are so many games that go on sale regularly that, yes, I look at these prices of the Mario Kart worlds, of, these deluxe editions with fake early access. That is certainly a harbinger for higher price point video games to come. It's only a step in that direction, but at the same time, I think I can complain about the changing landscape of gaming. I can complain about the price points and so on and so forth, but for the consumer, now it is up to you to make the decisions in your best interest. There are the decisions that are being made of people.
I am very expecting the PS6 to come out at a very expensive price. Thank you very much, Nintendo, for overpricing your console. Now everybody else is going to overprice it, because it only makes sense to have the PS6 worth more than the Switch too, because it's going to be a far better, superior console anyways. But besides the point, that's why I think we need to hold the line. We need to sit there and boycott this crap until they lower the prices. It worked for the PS3, worked for the 3DS, worked for the Wii U. Well, I mean, the Wii U was a miserable failure anyways, but I mean, it worked. They lowered those prices.
And I see it in the comment section, I'm quitting gaming. I think that is crazy. Gaming is a passion of mine. I'm never going to quit gaming. Even if I wasn't doing this as a full-time job, I've been playing video games my entire life. I'm not going to quit gaming because the price points have appreciated. I certainly do recommend people to be more mindful of what they pick up, especially if you're on a budget. Even if you're not on a budget, some people just based on principle don't see it fit to drop $80 on a game, $70 on a game, $130 on Ultimate Editions, and I totally get where you are coming from, but every week the PlayStation Store is running incredible deals. Go play an RDR2 if you haven't. I know that's not the best example because everybody's played it, but go play a 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I know most of you guys haven't played that. Go play a Dishonored 2. Go play a Prey 2017. Go play whatever, a Wolfenstein New Order. I'm giving Bethesda a lot more credit than they deserve right now, but nevertheless, go play a lot of those games, and then by the time the price points go down, all of the Death Stranding 2s of the world, if you don't want to spend $70 on it, play the other games for a year. A year from now, that'll be in the bargain bin. Games are gonna eventually go in the bargain bin. I mean, even at this point, if you didn't pick up Stellar Blade because you didn't see fit dropping $70 on it, you can get it for $40. Just wait for these games to get to a price point. I know.
Yeah, unless you're Nintendo, those fuckers never go down in price. But you know what? This is why I keep sitting there saying, don't ever buy, no more buying digital. Screw digital. Okay, they're just too expensive. The gaming companies are producing them at too expensive of a price because they don't seem to want to go down in price. You know, unless it's like a Black Friday sale and the digital version happens to be way cheaper than a physical copy, then okay, that one I would say is okay. But make sure you buy physical copies and make sure that they are pre-owned. Never buy a brand new physical copy, okay? Because when you buy a brand new physical copy, if it's like a Nintendo game, they're going to get 60 to 70% of that revenue and the store gets the rest. Make sure you buy a pre-owned copy. So Nintendo, for instance, gets absolutely none of that money. Okay, we need to limit the amount of money that they're going to get.
A lot of the times we are prisoners of the moment and we want to play these games right when they come out, but if you're somebody that wants to be more mindful of where they spend their money on these video games, just buy some stuff from yesteryear. The PlayStation 5 is a worthwhile investment. I mean, if you can get it for $500, great. We'll see how the market shifts, but I still think there are so many games to play that, you know, they do get discounted. Spider-Man 2, if you didn't spend $70 on it, you can find that game for $40 at this point. You can find a lot of the major exclusives for $40 if you don't want to spend $70. The Ragnaroks, the Forbidden Wests of the world, you know, so on and so forth. I do think it's a shame that a lot of this hobby is getting so much more expensive, but what am I going to do? Yes, I'll complain about it. I'll bring light to it. I'll point it out. I'll talk about fake early access. I'll talk about these things being a step towards gaming getting more expensive. But at the end of the day, if you care about this, it is now up to you to be more mindful as a consumer and be a little bit more selective of what you buy. Obviously, you know, some people are going the nuclear option and quitting gaming altogether. I don't think that's the right move, but, you know, that's your...
Yeah, you know, someone like me and GameCross, we are going to tend to pay, you know, upfront the original price just because, you know, he has a gaming channel, he reviews games. I have a gaming channel. You know, I sometimes review games. I sometimes do some first impressions. I do a lot of reactions lately because I just don't have that much time. And I enjoy doing reactions. Reactions are fun to me. You know, but the thing is, me and him, we get to write it off on our taxes. At least I think GameCross does. If he's in America, I'm assuming other countries have this something similar to what we have when it comes to the whole taxes thing. But here in America, I get to write off part of the expense on my taxes as a business expense. You know, because I am buying it for the channel. You know, if I wasn't doing this channel, I would never buy brand new games. Before I started a YouTube channel, I never bought brand new games. I always bought bargain bin type games because I was too cheap to pay the price. It didn't matter how much I wanted. I always waited till they went down like $30 before I bought them. That's just how I've always been.
Prerogative if you want to avoid gaming altogether because it's now out of your price range, which, you know, ultimately, if you still have a PS4, I still think most of you guys can make that work and play great games on a PS4. But I digress. It's a reality of the situation right now. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Yeah, that's it for my reaction also. So go check him out. Let him know I sent you. His name is GameCross. I'll link him down below. Give him the respect he deserves. And until next time, guys, stay vigilant.